There's a way for me to go be free. There's a way for me to go be me. I just know that there's a place for me. There's a place for me. There's a place for me. There's a place for me.
The sun was beginning to set as I walked down the bustling street, my heart racing with hope. I couldn't help but feel butterflies in my stomach every time I thought about seeing him tonight. It was our college's annual dance party, and I had been looking forward to it for weeks. I had spent hours agonizing over what dress to wear, what hairstyle to choose, and what music to listen to on repeat. Finally, I spotted him standing by the punch bowl, his eyes scanning the crowd as if searching for someone. My heart skipped a beat as I made my way over to him, my palms already sweaty with nervousness. As I drew closer, I felt a sudden urge to run away, to hide somewhere where I could avoid the inevitable, admitting my crush to him. But something deep inside me told me that tonight was the night. Taking a deep breath, I mustered up all the courage I could find and walked up to him. "Hey, you must be looking for someone," I said, trying to sound casual.
Perfect.
He turned to look at me, his eyes meeting mine, and my heart skipped a beat. Yeah, my date's running a little late," he smiled, revealing a dimple on his cheek. "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," I said, trying to sound sincere. I couldn't help but feel a twinge of disappointment in my stomach. "Well, I hope she gets here soon. You guys can dance the night away, right?" He shrugged and smiled again. "Yeah, I'm sure we'll have fun once she gets here." Just then, I noticed a flash of movement out of the corner of my eye. I turned my head to see a familiar figure hurrying through the crowd toward us. It was her, his girlfriend. My heart sank as I realized that I had been standing here, wasting my time, when all along he was taken. "Hey, you made it!" he exclaimed, wrapping his arm around her and pulling her close. They looked so happy together, so in love. I forced a smile and tried to pretend that I wasn't completely on the inside. "Sorry, I'm late. I got caught up at work," she said, giggling. "It's okay, I'm just glad you're here now," he said, squeezing her shoulder before letting her go. He turned back to me and offered me a polite smile. "Thanks for waiting, I appreciate it." I nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. "No problem," I managed to choke out. "I'm just glad you're happy." As they turned to walk away together, my heart felt like it was being out of my chest. I tried to tell myself that it was for the best, that I didn't want the relationship, but the pain was almost unbearable. Just as I was about to turn away, he paused and looked back at me over his shoulder. His eyes met mine, and for a moment they seemed to search for something. Then, before he could change his mind, he smiled and whispered, "You're amazing, do you know that?" Even though they were directed at his girlfriend, they made me feel like I was the only person in the room, and in that moment I knew that no matter what happened, I would always carry a piece of him with me. With a shaky breath, I turned and walked away, trying to convince myself that it was just a crush, that it would pass with time. But deep down, I knew that this was something more, something that would stay with me forever. A week after the dance party, I heard through mutual friends that he had broken up with her. I couldn't help but feel a mix of relief and sadness wash over me. Relief that he was single again, but sadness that it had taken something very important from him. I knew I should have stayed away, but I just couldn't help myself. I found myself drawn to him in a way that I couldn't explain. So, when I saw him sitting alone in the college ground, shoulders slumped and tears streaming down his face, I couldn't help but walk over. I didn't say anything for a moment, just sat down next to him and put an arm around his shoulder. He looked up at me, surprise etched on his face, and then his shoulders relaxed a fraction as he let out a shuddering breath. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't be bothering you," he said, wiping his face with the back of his hand. "It's just, I don't know what I'm going to do without her." I smiled softly and shook my head. "You'll be okay," I said, my voice steady despite the lump in my throat. "You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. Besides, I'll always be here for you if you need me." His eyes closed and he sighed heavily before opening them again. "Thanks, I appreciate that," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. We spent the rest of the day together, talking about everything and nothing at all. I told him about my family, my dreams, and my life goals. He did the same. And through it all, I felt a connection with him that I hadn't felt with anyone else. As the sun began to set, we sat there on the bench, our shoulders touching, and I knew that our friendship was something special, something real. "Hey," he said, nudging me with his elbow. "Thanks for being there for me today. I don't know what I'd do without you." I smiled up at him. "I don't know what I'd do without you either," I replied honestly. "You're now my best friend, you know that?" His face lit up and he squeezed my hand gratefully. "Really?" "Really," I said, returning his smile. "Now, how about we go get some ice cream to celebrate our newfound friendship?" He laughed, the sound warm and genuine, and took my hand, helping me to my feet. "Deal," He said, "Lead the way, my beautiful friend." Over the next few months, we spent nearly every moment together. We went to movies, concerts, and amusement parks. We talked about everything under the sun and shared countless inside jokes. Our bond grew stronger with each passing day, and it seemed like nothing could tear us apart. "You know," he said one day as we sat in the garden studying, "I never thought I'd find someone like you." I looked up from my notes, a small smile tugging at the corners of my lips. "What do you mean?" "I mean," he said, his gaze never wavering from his textbook, "I never thought I'd find someone who understands me so well, who made me feel so comfortable and happy." He glanced over at me then, his eyes warm. "You're really something special." I felt my cheeks flush with pleasure. "Thanks," I said softly. "You're pretty special yourself." "Well, as long as we have each other, we'll always be okay, won't we?" "Always," I replied, reaching out to squeeze his hand, and I meant it with every fiber on my being. Our friendship continued to flourish, and over time I began to realize that there was something more there, something beyond just friendship, but I didn't want to, but we had by saying anything. So I kept my feelings to myself, hoping that one day he might feel the same way. Until then, I would cherish every moment we spent together and be content, knowing that he was my best friend in the entire world. As graduation day approached, I began to feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. I knew that once we left for university, our lives would change, and I didn't want to lose the closeness we shared. So I decided to muster up the courage to tell him how I felt. I wanted him to know that if he ever felt the same way, I'd be there for him. "Hey Jimin, can I talk to you for a second?" He looked up at me, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "Of course, beautiful. What's on your mind?" I took a deep breath and gathered the courage. "I just wanted to say, I don't know how to put this, but I trailed off, my cheeks blushing. "Go on," he urged, his eyes never leaving mine. I swallowed hard. "I just want you to..." Before I could finish my sentence, he cut me off, his expression lighting up. "Oh my God, I was sure you would know about it soon," he exclaimed. "There's a girl, Nancy, at our college, and she's amazing. I've liked her for so long, but I didn't want to anything. I mean, what if she doesn't feel the same way?" I was taken aback. "Oh, really?" I managed to stammer. Do you think she likes you back?" "I don't know for sure," he said, "but I think I'm going to find out. I've been wanting to ask her out for a while now. Well, good luck, I said, trying to sound supportive. I hope it works out for you. In truth, a part of me was sad that he had his own feelings for someone else, but I couldn't be selfish. I just hoped that he'd remember the bond we shared and that we could still be as close as ever, even if we were apart. Thanks, he said, returning my smile. I'll let you know how it goes, okay? Okay, I said, forcing a cheerful tone. Good luck. As I walked away from him, tears pricked at my eyes. I tried to tell myself that it was just because I was happy for him, but deep down I couldn't help but feel a pain in my chest. I wanted to be the one he talked to about everything, the one he wanted to ask out. Why did it have to be someone else? Hey, are you okay? Asked a voice from behind me. I turned around to see Jungkook, one of our mutual friends, concern etched on his face. Yeah, I'm fine, I lied, trying to summon up a smile. Just thinking about university and stuff. Jungkook studied me for a moment before nodding understandingly. Well, if you ever want to talk about it, you know where I am. And about him, I mean, just make sure you don't lose yourself in all of this. You know, you're an amazing person, and you'll find someone who appreciates you just the way you are. I forced a small laugh. Thanks, I said, trying to sound more confident than I felt. I will. As I walked away, I wiped the tears from my cheeks and told myself that things would work out somehow. Maybe one day he'd realize what he was missing. Until then, I'd just have to keep on moving forward, one step at a time. Years later, Jimin went to the meetup party and encountered a friend, Yunwoo, who told him unexpected news. Hey, have you heard about VIXX? He asked casually. Jimin raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Oh, what about her? Well, she's married now, he revealed, watching his reaction keenly. He felt a jolt of surprise ripple through him. Married? But with whom? Yunwoo chuckled knowingly. Oh, you didn't know? She had married to our friend Jungkook. She had a crush on you for the longest time, but you know how things go. Sometimes what we expect doesn't turn out the way we imagine. His mind filled with confusion and a tinge of regret. Wait, she liked me? Why didn't she ever say anything? Yunwoo shrugged. Guess she didn't want to risk your friendship. Besides, life moves on, right? He fell silent, trying to digest the revelation. Memories flooded back moments when he hadn't noticed her subtle hints or perhaps had misconstrued her feelings. That's surprising, he mumbled, feeling a pang of remorse for not realizing sooner. Yeah, life's funny that way. Anyway, she seems happy now, married to someone who truly values her. Jimin managed to give a weak smile, a mix of emotions clouding his thoughts. Look, Dave just arrived. I think you should meet her. After all, she was your best friend. Saying this, he stood up and headed over to greet them. She exchanged glances with Jimin and then they approached him. Hey there, she greeted cheerfully, her eyes bright with genuine happiness. Hi, it's been a while, hasn't it? Jungkook extended a friendly hand. Hi Jimin, after a long time. Nice to meet you again. Jimin shook Jungkook's hand warmly. I'm glad to see she's in good company. She laughed lightly, her gaze flickering between them. We should get going. It was really nice meeting you, Jimin. You too, Ryan, he replied warmly. As they turned to leave, she looked back at him. Hey, thank you for everything. He nodded with an honest smile on his lips. Take care of each other. Watching them walk away, he felt a bittersweet mix of emotions. There was a sense of closure in knowing she had found happiness, even if it wasn't with him. He took a deep breath, reminiscing about what could have been, but also embracing the beauty of what had unfolded. He realized that life was an unpredictable journey. Sometimes the paths taken deviated from what was expected, leading to unexpected outcomes. And in that moment, amid the bustling streets, he found comfort in the idea that everyone eventually finds their way to where they truly belong.
내가 사랑하겠어